Cape Town, a city of breathtaking beauty and harsh realities. This metropolis, nestled between mountains and oceans, is a land of contrasts. The sparkling skyline of the city center, with its modern skyscrapers and luxurious nightlife, masks the gritty underbelly that exists in the shadows. The bustling streets, filled with tourists and the affluent, stand in stark contrast to the sprawling townships on the city's outskirts, where poverty and crime are daily battles. In this city of dreams and despair, one name has become synonymous with fear and infamy: Nazif Modak. Modak's story is not just a tale of one man's rise and fall, but a reflection of the socio-economic divides that shape Cape Town. It's a story that delves deep into the heart of a city struggling with its dual identity. A city where the glitter of success often hides the grime of corruption and crime. Nazif Modak's story begins in the unforgiving streets of Cape Town's townships. These areas are marked by economic disparities that are as stark as they are alarming. In these neighborhoods, opportunities are few, and the struggle for survival often means navigating a treacherous path. Growing up in such an environment, Modak was exposed to a world where crime was not just a choice, but, for many, a necessity. From an early age, Modak learned the rules of the streets. He understood that power and influence were often built on a foundation of fear and violence. These early experiences shaped his path and prepared him for a life that would see him rise through the ranks of the criminal underworld. As he transitioned from small-time activities to more significant criminal enterprises, Modak's name began to echo through the streets of Cape Town. He was a figure who emerged from the shadows, ready to seize control of a city that was ripe for the taking. As Cape Town's nightlife flourished, it became a battleground for control over nightclub security, a highly lucrative enterprise that extended far beyond just bouncers at the door. The city's nightclubs were more than just venues for entertainment. They were hubs of power where the illicit mingled with the legitimate. Controlling nightclub security meant controlling the flow of money, drugs, and influence. Nazif Modak, alongside his loyal associates, saw an opportunity to muscle into this lucrative domain. Their strategy was clear: use fear and force to assert control over the city's nightlife. Nightclub owners soon found themselves at the mercy of Modak's men, coerced into hiring his security services under the threat of violence and business disruption. Those who resisted faced dire consequences. The nightlife wars of Cape Town became infamous. Shootings outside prominent nightclubs, violent confrontations, and a string of extortion claims became the norm. Modak's name was frequently linked to these incidents, and his influence grew. The nightclub security wars were not just about who controlled the doors. They were about who controlled the city's dark heart. Modak's empire extended far beyond nightclub doors. Allegations tied him to some of the most notorious gangs in the Western Cape, creating a complex web of criminal enterprises that spanned drug trafficking, weapon smuggling, and money laundering. These gangs, with their deep-rooted connections and networks, provided the muscle and reach Modak needed to expand his influence. Drug trafficking was a cornerstone of Modak's operations. The nightlife venues under his control served as distribution points for narcotics, creating a steady flow of illegal substances through the city. But Modak's ambitions didn't stop there. He also ventured into weapon smuggling, illegally importing and distributing firearms that fueled gang violence in Cape Town. Law enforcement was not blind to Modak's activities. Specialized units began monitoring his operations, seeing him as a key player who linked street-level gangs to higher echelons of organized crime. However, combating Modak's empire was no easy task. The challenges were manifold, ranging from the sheer complexity of his operations to alleged corrupt ties within the police force itself. This corruption complicated efforts to bring Modak to justice and eroded public trust in law enforcement. Modak's operations did not escape the watchful eyes of the law. His arrests and trials became high-profile spectacles, drawing attention from both the public and the media. In 2018, Modak was detained on charges of extortion and intimidation. However, his release on bail amid controversial circumstances sparked outrage and suspicion. A more significant crackdown came in 2019, when law enforcement launched an operation that led to Modak's arrest, along with other alleged underworld figures. This time, the charges were more severe, including money laundering and contravening the Prevention of Organized Crime Act. The courtroom became a stage for intense legal battles, where Modak's defense team fought fiercely against the prosecution's claims. Throughout his trials, allegations of corruption surfaced, complicating proceedings. Claims emerged that certain law enforcement officials had corrupt relationships with Modak, undermining the integrity of the judicial process. Witnesses and investigators reportedly faced threats and intimidation, adding layers of difficulty to an already challenging pursuit of justice. The trials exposed not just Modak's alleged crimes, but also the systemic issues within the justice system. The reign of fear associated with Modak's operations cast a long shadow over Cape Town's communities. Business owners found themselves trapped in a cycle of extortion and intimidation, their livelihoods at the mercy of Modak's criminal enterprise. The violence and instability created a climate of fear that permeated everyday life. Yet, amidst this chaos, stories of resilience emerged. Community leaders, local business owners, and residents banded together, determined to reclaim their neighborhoods from the grip of crime. These brave individuals spoke out against the violence, refusing to be silenced by fear. Their efforts brought a glimmer of hope to a city struggling under the weight of criminal influence. Interviews with those affected by Modak's operations reveal the human cost of his rise to power. Business owners recount tales of coercion and threats, while community leaders discuss the impact of violence on their neighborhoods. Residents share their fears and hopes, highlighting the resilience of a community that refuses to be defeated. The economic fallout of Modak's criminal activities was profound. Legitimate businesses, caught in the crossfire of his operations, struggled to survive. The instability and violence deterred investment, and certain areas saw a decline in tourism. The economic impact extended beyond the immediate victims, affecting the broader community and the city's economy. Through Modak's story, we uncover deeper themes of economic disparity and the relentless challenge faced by law enforcement in combating organized crime. The socio-economic divide in Cape Town provided fertile ground for individuals like Modak to rise to power. It also highlighted the systemic issues within law enforcement, where corruption and resource constraints hindered effective policing. Experts discuss the broader implications of Modak's case, exploring how socio-economic factors contribute to the cycle of crime and violence. They highlight the need for systemic change to address the root causes of crime and rebuild trust in law enforcement. Nazif Modak's rise and fall serve as a mirror to the complex interplay of power, crime, and survival in Cape Town. His story is not just a tale of one man's ambition, but a reflection of the socio-economic and systemic issues that plague the city. As Cape Town grapples with the legacy he left behind, it must ask, can it overcome these shadows and build a brighter, safer future for all its residents? The journey towards a more equitable and just society is fraught with challenges. But the resilience of Cape Town's communities offers a beacon of hope. Through collective effort and systemic change, the city can reclaim its streets and ensure that the cycle of crime and violence does not define its future. This documentary is a testament to the courage and determination of those who refuse to be silenced, and a call to action for a better tomorrow.